The new Lloydminster Nissan is moving. We'll be temporarily relocating to the Big Blue Building on Highway 16 West, formerly known as Border City RV. And before we have to tediously move every single vehicle on the lot, we'd rather sell it. You can save today on our incredible Nissan lineup of cars, trucks, and SUVs. Move a new or pre-owned vehicle to your driveway with deep discounts. The moving out sale is on now at the new Lloydminster Nissan. The new Lloydminster Nissan. We won't sell you a car, we'll help you buy one.
Local people. Local news and events. Local sports. Local matters. For all things Lloydminster area, this is Live with Kurt Price.
Well, it is good to be back, and we are excited to be with you again today. Joining us today, the entire cast of How Could You, Mrs. Dick, along with the director, Cornelius Cron. Well, if you are faced with a cleanup from wind, fire, or water, or you're looking for help with mold or asbestos contamination or drug cleanup, call BioClean Disaster Services. They're a local company that will move quickly and help you get your life back to where it was before the disaster. Their focus is on taking care of you and your family. Of course, your possessions and your property are of concern as well, but their main concern is getting you and your family back to where you were before the disaster. They put you first. BioClean Disaster Services, 1-833-246-8326. Well, Oktoberfest is back this weekend. It is Saturday, October the 14th, hosted by the German Club at the WLS Convention Center here in Lloydminster. The Prairie Dogs are performing with entertainment also by the Concordia Alpenrose Dancers. Tickets are just $45 each, and they are available at Cliff Rose for Clothes or the Lloydminster Animal Hospital. The doors open at 7:30. The dance starts at 8:30 with a late lunch, and that late lunch is absolutely incredible. It has been every year at Oktoberfest. The Harvest Collective Market Fall Edition is going to be held this Saturday. That's on the Nissan Hall, and that's from 10 to 4. Market features 40 vendors and great music and more. That, again, is this Saturday. And this Sunday already is Pumpkin Fest in downtown Lloydminster. It starts at 1, it runs until 5 p.m. The big winner of the Smoky Lake Pumpkin Fair, that's the big pumpkin contest that everybody wants to win. Once again this year was Don and Tina Cruz, and they are from Lloydminster, and they will be there with their over 2,000-pound pumpkin. There's also a car show in the Cliff Rose for Clothes parking lot. There's 4 great concerts, some great food, and a whole lot more coming up on Sunday. Lloydminster Kinsman Club, they're excited to bring back the Harvest Hoedown Cabaret for a second year. This year, Main Street and Trick Rider are the bands that are performing, and tickets are just $40 each. For a table of 8, it's just $300. The night includes great music, midnight lunch, 50-50, door prizes, and for tickets, you can call Darcy at 780-871-4818. I wasn't at the last one, but they said it was absolutely fantastic. One of my absolute favorite events is coming up. Harvest Festival is October the 25th. And that's back at the Lloydminster Exhibition again. Harvest Festival celebrates local farmers and local food. It is a delicious night. Tickets right now are just $25. I say right now because you can get the early bird price before they go up to $30 the day of. A bison chili, farmer's sausage, a Ukrainian plate, just some of what has already been announced for food. Get your tickets. It is a terrific night, and once again, I'm excited to be helping serve up some fantastic food. An event that took Lloydminster by storm last year is returning again. The Lloydminster District Co-op, along with the Lloydminster Exhibition, bringing back Trunk or Treat. This year's Trunk or Treat is Thursday, October the 26th, beginning at 3:30. It runs until 6 p.m. Go early. There's a big hint. If you'd like to enter your business or your trunk, go to lloydx.com. It's a free event for the kids to trunk or treat hat inside where it's nice and warm, and they can view some scary displays. Border City Rotary Club is planning a pancake breakfast for October the 28th. That's coming up at Spiro's. Join them between 8 and 10 a.m. for pancakes at just $5 a person, and proceeds go to the Holy Rosary girls volleyball team. The last time they had a pancake breakfast at Spiro's, it was delicious, and it's going to be again. Looking forward to that. Superior Water specializes in nothing but water, and with over 22 years in the business, they're proud and confident that their water and their service is indeed superior. Iron filters, water softeners, reverse osmosis, distillers, chlorine removal, and H2S odor removal. Give Superior Water a call at 780-875-6636 or visit them at the 57th Avenue location right beside Sheepskin Loft, and stay hydrated with pure, clean water. I drink Superior Water because I like the taste, and I believe it is superior. When we come back, the entire cast of How Could You, Mrs. Dick?
At Lloydminster and District Co-op, membership matters more. Because being part of a co-op means you're connected to something bigger than yourself. From long-held legacy by those who built our communities, to people you call family, friends, and neighbors. When you're a Lloyd Co-op member, you're an owner in a local business that prides itself on purpose alongside profit. You earn cash back, you help support causes that matter most, and you're building a better way of life for the next generation. Membership matters more.
It's more than just taxes at L&A CPA. Assurance, accounting, retirement planning, estate planning, business consulting, financial consulting, farm program support, and bookkeeping. But yes, there is always taxes. The team at L&A CPA is committed to helping you achieve your best results and will be there to assist you every step of the way. L&A CPA, with offices in Provost, Vermilion, and Lloydminster.
At Jason Arden Associates Cooperators, we're proud to be a top-rated local insurance company that offers flexible solutions and expert advice for all your insurance and investment needs. We'll work with you to tailor your insurance specific to your needs, and we offer investment advice that always puts you first. At Cooperators, one of our core values is to support the communities we live in. When you support Jason Arden Associates Cooperators, you are supporting local nonprofits and initiatives. Since 2020, we have donated $60,000 to local nonprofits, youth sponsorships, and various special projects. When was the last time your insurance company did that?
How can you help support the oil and gas industry and jobs in Western Canada? The answer is closer than you think. Sell your scrap metals to PWM Steel. PWM sells scrap iron to Evraz, located in Regina. Evraz's #1 customer is the energy sector, building pipes and plates for the oil and gas industry. PWM Steel is your locally owned metal recycler and steel service center in the area. Plus, they're a strong supporter of the community. PWM Steel, your top steel supplier for Alberta and Saskatchewan for 40 years.
At Diamond 7 Meats, we work with local farm families to provide a high-quality product and a great selection for you. Try our mouth-watering smokies, pulled pork, roast beef, and more, made pure and natural with no additives or fillers. We offer custom processing, and our experienced team works for you to provide a selection of sausage, burgers, and jerkies made to your specifications. Take your grilling to the next level with a Yoder smoker. Complete the grilling experience with Canadian-made, award-winning line of House of Q barbecue sauces. We're locally owned and operated, and we look forward to seeing you today.
We are excited to be here with the entire cast of How Could You, Mrs. Dick. Cornelius Cron is the director. Do you want to introduce everybody, or do you want to have them introduce themselves?
You can test my memory, but I think they're going to be a little bit better at introducing themselves.
Okay, let's start back. Yeah. Let's start back here. So we've got a microphone we'll pass around, and we'll just start here, and we'll work our way back around, and we'll find out who all these people are and what character they're playing.
I'm Jeremy Kerr. I'll be playing Donald McLean, the father of the Mrs. Dick.
Father of the bride.
I'm Colleen Hagel, and I am Alexandra McLean, the mother of the accused, and also accused.
I'm Tim Landry. I'm Detective Sergeant Clarence Preston.
Well, you really get into your role, eh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm a detective.
I walk in here, I'm right away. Yeah. Detective.
Yeah, he's the detective. I'm the other Dick on the case, to use that joke. Jerry Lampow, and I am Inspector Charles Wood. The thing that fascinates me about this true Canadian crime story, even starting with the jokes that we've had about the names of the characters, Mrs. Dick, and we've got two. Can we say that in this program?
You can say whatever you want.
All right, good. I like to have the shackles taken off because I'm definitely going to interrogate witnesses, suspects, and otherwise. But I think we've had a wonderful time preparing for this, and Lloydminster is going to just enjoy coming to see this.
Awesome.
I'm Kendra Harrison, and I am the stage manager for the play.
Well, before you give that microphone away, just tell us what a stage manager does.
So my role is to make sure that the set is set up how it's supposed to be, props are given to people. I also do lines and stuff in rehearsal, so if someone's forgetting their lines or a little bit stumbling, I will go over those. And just overall directing people where they need to be on stage and all of that.
I'm kind of wondering now what he's doing here.
He's looking good.
The boss.
He's looking good.
He's taking the glory. Yes, that's right. Yeah, and actually, she'll be taking over for me on our next rehearsal when I'm not here. So it's nice to have somebody that you can trust and somebody that can take that role on. And Kendra does a great job with it.
Yeah, this is the boss. That's the sub boss.
He's the face of it.
My name's Jay Barr. I'm playing Mr. John Dick. I'm the dead guy. So yes, you are seeing dead people.
There's a lot of lines for that.
I was going to ask you, got a lot of lines? Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's just, I don't know, what else do you need from me?
Chalk line, maybe.
My name is Matt Newman, and I play Keith, one of the reporters who kind of narrate the story that is played out in front of us.
Okay. I can hear that in your voice. I can see that.
I'm Stephanie Filoni, and I am playing Iris, and she is another reporter who is a bit of a rival to Keith.
I'm Dana Wojtowicz, and I am playing Evelyn Dick.
Now that's your main character right there.
Absolutely.
Evelyn
Yes,
Dick.
yes, she is. Yeah.
Okay, let's get into this. Let's get all the little stuff out of the way. Okay, October 27th to 29th at the Legacy Center.
That's right.
Tickets are how much?
Tickets are $30, which is a great deal for the show that people are going to get. We have some fantastic actors. We've got a really great play, and it's going to be a really, really good evening on those Friday, Saturday, and a really good afternoon performance on the Sunday.
Okay, and you can get tickets right
at the Legacy Center. So call Carrie at the Legacy Center, or stop by actually and talk to Carrie, and she can get you tickets. You can also pick up tickets at the door on performance nights and performance afternoons.
Okay, now this is How Could You, Mrs. Dick, is based on a true story. Am I hearing that right?
The Torso murder in Hamilton, Ontario. So this group of boys is out for a walk in the hill, and they come upon a torso, which is no head, no arms, no legs. And of course they call the police. The police do a little bit of work, and they figure out, they match it up with a missing persons report. And that missing person ends up being John Dick. And they trace things back to the person who made the report, Mrs. Evelyn Dick, who has a very curious response to the fact that her husband is dead. Instead of breaking down crying, she says, "Don't look at me." And that kind of, makes the cops a little bit suspicious. And the play that we're doing tells the story in flashback about the multiple trials that went on, the media coverage that happened, the historical events of Evelyn's life as well.
So it's a little bit morbid. It's perfect for a Halloween weekend.
It's a great macabre little story, a little bit dark. We'll have a torso on stage, maybe a little bit of fake blood. We don't see the actual murder taking place. And in the end, the audience needs to decide, did she do it? Did she not do it? Based on the evidence that the reporters and the police present.
So I love it when I'm watching a movie and it says based on a true story. How much of what we see in How Could You, Mrs. Dick is actually true?
Every single character is a real life person. So each of these people that they play actually existed in real life in 1940s in Hamilton. So The two newspaper reporters are actually newspaper reporters. Mrs. Dick was a real live person. Her parents, the police investigators, they were actual people based on actual historical things. Douglas Roger, the playwright, was a reporter, and so he took the information that he came across, and he put together this play.
When was this?
1946 was the murder. When does Evelyn get married?
1945.
And then, what happens between? So she gets married, 1945. She gets married, and on their wedding night, she actually leaves her husband on her wedding night, and from there things only get worse for their relationship. So she has a couple different affairs with multiple different people, some of which we see on the stage, and then
Not the affairs.
Not the affairs. No, we don't see the
scenes. There's no bedroom scenes.
we don't see the details of the affairs, but yeah, no, we don't need a warning on the bottom of the.
Well, it brings up something interesting. Like, what age groups are going to like this play? Like, could you bring a kid?
It's going to depend on your child and their maturity level. We don't have there's no nudity. There's a little bit of language. There is there's adult themes. So if you have like a mature teenager, middle years kid that can sit through a play, then bring them on down, and they would definitely enjoy it.
Okay. How come this play? Did you guys did you know it was going to do this before you got your cast, or did you base this on your cast?
Not really based it on the cast, but what we do is Matt and I are part of the Lloydminster Little Theatre, and so we're always looking for plays, we're always looking for things. I was a part of How Could You Mrs. Dick when I was a lot younger. I actually played the role of John Dick when I was back in my hometown, and so I had this play in the back of my mind. Then Arts Without Borders approached us and said, hey, we're considering moving Arts Without Borders to the fall. What could you do? And so right away I started thinking, well, October, and I started thinking Halloween, and I thought something that was a little darker, a little bit more macabre, and this definitely fit the bill. And then knowing the talent of a lot of the actors who are often in our shows, it was very easy to say, okay, yes, I think we have enough people to populate this cast.
So I'm curious as to each one of you and what you've done before and why you decided to get into this. Maybe we'll start with you and why you decided this is the right play, and how many plays you've done, and what's kind of what intrigues you about getting involved with. Why do you want to do this? like you're the main character. You got a gazillion lines to remember. Why would you put yourself through that?
Yeah, I'm wondering at this point. This is the second play that I've done with this group, with the Little Theatre Players. And I've always did theater through high school and stuff like that. And then was busy having a family. Now they're big enough, and so now I can join in. And it's kind of my way of doing something fun for myself. And this group of people is always fun to work with, so I jumped at the chance to come on board again.
So, is everybody been here before? Has everybody done this before? Is there anybody new?
I've worked with almost everybody on this stage before. There are a couple of people that I haven't worked with, but I know of them in the artistic community. Jerry, I haven't worked with Jerry before, so this is the first time that we've worked together, and it's been fantastic. And Colleen, I know, has a theater background, and we hadn't worked together before, but I knew that she might be interested, and so I passed the script her way and said, hey, would you consider working on this? I haven't worked directly with Jeremy before, but he has been involved in a production that Matt and I co-directed. So he directed Jeremy while I directed some of the other people. And it's not just community theater in that it's for the community, it's also we build a community as we are creating and doing theater.
So did you know you were going to do the main role?
No, not originally.
Main character?
That came along a little bit later. Originally, I was in Iris's role, and the original person who was going to be playing Evelyn had to drop out for other things that were going on. So then I was asked to take on the role at the beginning of September. So I agreed.
Okay. And we were thankful for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We had a couple of people already chosen, and then they weren't able to join us, and so we did a round of auditions in order to kind of fill those couple spots that we needed.
Well, that's a good question. What is the commitment Like, when do you guys rehearse and how long?
Somebody else want to?
Yeah, I could probably
about that,
jump in.
Jerry?
Yeah. Yeah, because I came on in that second round of castings. That would have been late in the summer there. And knowing fully well what it would entail. And then, of course, I was guessing maybe 3 nights a week. And I'm expecting by the time we get into this period where we're in now, we'll probably bump it up to 4. And the last week, for sure, it'll be gung-ho all the way. To answer that question as to our why, I think the historical part of it struck me once I began to dig into it some more. So that all of these people, actually, they're real people that lived in Canada in 1946, 1947, that kind of thing. And we may chuckle, even during rehearsals, we chuckle about the names. We've got the jokes about my character, Inspector Wood. You can play in that in a million ways. It comes out the same way, you know. But so the historical part of it for me is certainly there. And I've asked the question, you know, how does this relate to contemporary Canadian society? That these issues took place then, but they're still very real now, about climbing into society and the things that you're willing to do to make that happen.
So, Jerry, is this your first? Like have you done plays before?
I'm returning to the stage after the last time I was on a stage in Lloydminster was 10 years ago. Some folks might remember 13 Rue de la Mort. I don't remember anything from it, to be quite honest. Don't ask me my lines from there.
I'm not sure he's ever done this before.
So, and I think theater is something that you miss until you get the opportunity to do it again. And I've got to say, like we've been talking about community here, I think I feel right at home. We feel right at home with each other at this point in our production, and we're quite excited to deliver on stage night.
And we are together 3 nights a week, and we're together for 3 hours at a time. 3 hours at a time. So we've been putting in 9 hours a week. That's together. The people that are memorizing lines and memorizing, you know, half a book of script in lines, they're spending time at home and hitting those lines and trying to remember where they're walking and when to pick up the phone, as well as to say this line at this particular time. So the hours together, we're spending 9 hours together. The time on their own, I can't even imagine how much time these people are giving up in order to do this.
So it's time to spend in the bathroom, I guess.
So, Jay, with the dead body, you've spent a lot of time laying in bed, I bet.
Yeah, I gotta practice, you know, just getting into the singing mood. I ain't got no body.
That's all you have.
It's him losing his arms, legs, and head. That's the most impressive part about the whole play.
Well, Jay, how did you get involved, and how many shows have you done?
Oh, I've been a theater buff for a long time, probably since I was 6, 7 years old. I lived in Cardston, Alberta, and Cardston had an amazing theater community throughout the whole time. After moving here to Lloyd, I kind of stepped away from it for a while, and then back when a friend of mine said, hey, why don't you come try out for this play they're doing, What is Susan's Secret? I don't know, apparently I impressed Matt because he handed me the lead role, and I've been hooked ever since. So yeah, it's been an absolute blast to come back and do these things. And as far as why do you put in the commitment, because it's just worth it. It's such a fun experience to be able to get to meet all these wonderful people and work with them and just have a blast. We've done plays where it's like, oh man, it's over now. It's just done. Like, oh, I want to do the next one. Come on, let's go. When's the next one start? Yeah.
Is there anybody who feels opposite, where it's just a big relief once it's done?
Not that anyone's going to admit right now.
Yeah. Well, Stephanie, let's go to you next. Tell us about how you got involved.
I got involved in theater in 2009. It was formerly the Vic Juba Community Players, and a friend of the family was Wendy Collins, and she offered me a part one time, so I joined on with her. And then the reins got passed down to Corn and to Matt, and Corn casted me, and we became the Lloydminster Little Theatre Players, and it's been wonderful. I'm pretty sure when I look back in the future, when I look back on these days, I think these are going to be kind of the good old days that I'm going to remember.
Oh, that's awesome. And for you, Matt?
About 2009 as well, when I got into adult theater. My history with Colleen was we went to school together and did junior high.
Well, you look so much older than me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think grade 5 was our first year.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of gray hair down here at the bottom.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I don't die.
So do you have,
But you might.
Sorry.
do you have to memorize your lines as the narrator, or can you just read?
No. Iris and I, Iris plays actually a respectable news reporter. I play a tabloid writer.
Oh, real life Jerry Lampau.
There we go. Yes, we do have to memorize the lines. We don't get to read it at all. Even when we have a newspaper in front of us or a magazine in front of us, I'm not reading the
I always
newspaper.
wondered that if you guys did that.
No, it's all memorized.
Open a book and there it is.
Yeah.
No.
A couple of them have tried it.
Why not?
A couple of them have tried it, and I've said no, not happening.
If you rely on that, if that's what you are counting on, what happens when the stage manager switches the prop, or what happens when that piece of paper falls out, right? You have to remember it, and there's a different. It sounds different when somebody is reading something versus when somebody is saying something.
That's very true.
And so what we try to do is, yes, we memorize the lines and we say the lines, we say the exact same words over and over and over, but every rehearsal, every performance, it actually comes out slightly differently. If you're reading it, it's just going to come out as if you're reading it. But if you have memorized those lines and you are saying them as if you've never said them before, then that's what you're looking for. And I think that's what live theater brings to you is that realness to those words and emotions.
The intent behind your words.
Yeah, I've seen people who try to read their lines and they spend the whole time looking at the page, and they're not focused on the audience. They're not focused on what they're doing. They're not focused on the whole scene altogether. They're just focused on what's on that page. So you really have to be able to memorize that to be able to give a good performance.
So what came first, Matt, or did you recruit Cornelius? Or how did that work?
No, it just kind of came to be. About 2009, I was part of the Vic Juba Community Players and several other theatre groups. There was 5 different groups that performed in Lloyd at that point in time, between Lakeland College, Adult Performing Arts, Southridge Community Church put on plays, plays that were put on at SPCA in Kitscotty, the Kitscotty plays that Colleen's been involved with. So there's lots of different groups that put on plays in the area at that point in time, and I was involved with a few of them. And then it just kind of, people moved, and key people moved. So Stephanie mentioned Wendy Collins. Wendy was huge and instrumental in theatre in Lloydminster here. 30 years, I think she did theatre here.
Yeah.
And so before she left, she kind of mentored me into directing and kind of pushed me in that direction. So I've directed a couple of full-length plays, just like Corn's doing this year. And we've done some one-act plays. We've done Almost Maine, which is 9 individual scenes. So we co-directed that with 4 or 5 scenes each. And then acted in between too. So I probably enjoy directing better than acting. But I still like acting quite a bit. Yeah.
How did you get involved, Kendra?
I was in drama in high school, and then I graduated high school and was like, I miss it so much, but I didn't know there was any groups and adult groups to do it. And then 2018, I think it just came across my Facebook feed. I'm not sure where it was. And I was like, there's a play for adults. Oh my gosh, I want to try out. I ended up being stage manager for that one, stage manager for the year after, and then in, what year was it? We did office hours. I was thankful and grateful enough to be casted alongside Tim in that one, and then Almost Maine, and then now this one I am back to stage manager. So it's just so much fun to just get out of the house, be someone different for a little bit, and let people sit down and enjoy something without thinking about the worries of life, and just let them relax and see things from a different point of view. It's just so much fun.
And for you, Tim, how long you been doing this? And do you have?
Line?
We sell things that suck.
We sell things that suck. That's right. Yeah. So, yeah. As you know, I own the Fact Shack. So anybody needs anything like that, come see me. But
his day job really sucks.
yes, it sucks. But
Get his phone number. We're charging him for this.
mic drop. I actually came to a play that Cornelius was directing, and after the play, I was like, I want to do that. I was in a play in high school. I was Snoopy in a Charlie Brown play, and I just forgot what it was like. But when I came and seen this play that he was directing, I was like, how do I become involved in this? So what I did was, after the play was over, the actors all came out, and I just went up to somebody and said, so how do I get involved in this? And I forget who it was, but he just says, well, you just look on Facebook for the name, Lloydminster Little Theatre Group, and they'll be, like the page, and then they'll be posting when the next auditions were. So I did, and then I'm waiting and waiting. Months went by. I thought, oh, maybe they're not going to have another one. Then one came up, and it was office hours. So I went and tried out, and that's when I became involved with Kendra. She was my wife, and I was the cheating husband and all that. And it actually turned out to be a very good, fun play, and I really enjoyed it. And then, and then COVID hit, and then everything kind of, stopped, and then after that, and this came about, and I became, like I said to Jerry, we're scabs, because we're, they actually had the crew, but some dropped out, and then there was tryouts, and we tried out, and we actually got another part, so that's good. But it's fun. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it, and meet new people. Like, there's some that but it's just, well, there's some that I work with, like, I work with college.
What did you say? Well, you said, there's people I enjoy working with, and then there are some.
Wait a minute. You didn't mean it that way.
No, he didn't expect to work with.
You edit this, right?
Yeah.
But, yeah, so.
He's never been good with his script.
So, anyways, but it's a lot of fun. And I'm glad we got a divorce in that. But no, I can't wait till the next one either. Like, like Jay was saying, it's you just can't wait. It's just so much fun.
And Colleen, other than getting recruited by Matt, how did you get?
Well, actually, I'm fortunate enough. Matt and I grew up in a community full of drama, so it's been part of our life from as far as they can remember. Well, all of that. But we really, really had a strong influence in our life that probably instilled in us something that we can't even really explain about our love for drama. And it's within the whole community. There are members that we grew up with in the SPCA plays, in all of the community plays around here are people that we shared the stage with as youth and teenagers and beyond there. But I was teaching school and did a lot of directing from the other side. Got rather tired, and I pretended I didn't know anything about drama for about 10 years. And somebody in another community heard I did, and I started in the directing role again. And I was quite enjoying the directing role, but in the last few years, I have taken on small roles and maybe a little bigger roles. And different than Matt, I think that the most fun is being on stage, not directing. These directing people deserve so much praise and appreciation, stage director and director, because that's a lot of time without the glory. I totally have been loving being back on stage for the last few times.
Can I disagree with that statement?
Point, counterpoint?
Yeah, absolutely. When we're finished a show and the crowd is showing their appreciation, you feel good about the show you put on. as a director, you get to feel good about everyone that did that show. For me, it's the whole. So that's why I love being a director, because everyone on stage got that applause, right? So yes, I love being the director, so I can help everyone else get applause.
It's a different kind of stress.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a completely different kind of stress.
Well, and you're dealing, like, a painter deals with paint, and paint kind of does what paint does, but I'm dealing with human beings here, right? like they have their own personalities, they have their own wishes, they have their own things that they want to do.
Some of them are more needy than others.
A little bit, but that's okay.
Don't name any names.
I'm not looking directly at Gary.
I'm not looking at anybody else either. But you are, like, what you're trying to do is you're trying to create a show and let the actors focus on their part and their character. But as the director, you need to make sure that we're all rowing the boat together, getting to that final destination as a group. Because you could have you could have one actor who's just totally focused on themselves and not there about the show, and that can be very detrimental. We're all rowing together. We're all going to the same spot, and that's a fantastic feeling.
Right back here, we didn't forget you. Jeremy, tell us what got you involved.
Well, when I was a younger teenager, just involved in youth group, small dramas and stuff, was in drama in high school, but that was kind of about the extent of it. As an adult, what I got in was Wendy Collins putting on a play called Asylum, which is where I got to know Stephanie, and then really enjoyed that. And I got to play Sherlock Holmes with Matt shortly after that. So it's been...
I think I saw that one. Yeah, I think I saw that one.
Many moons and many pounds ago.
Yeah.
So loved it. I've always been loving movies, TV. As far as local theater, probably my favorite part is the people you get to know. I really enjoy the time in rehearsals, that it's seeing how other people do it. I always have to bite my lip and say, well, I would do it this way. And it's like, well, yeah, but you're not playing that character. You let them do it.
Well, that's interesting. You look forward to spending 3 hours with these people. Like, I get to do that. Whereas I look at it 9 hours a week. You know,
how many people will sit in front of a TV? And don't get me wrong, I love watching movies, but I have 3 hours creating.
Sports is different.
But 3 hours creating your own scenes as opposed to just passively watching somebody else, right?
Right.
But that opportunity to get on stage and then hear people react, right? Like it's to see how people react to the jokes or the drama or tear up, right? Like how many of us have favorite scenes in movies that we'll watch a movie for that one scene or that character, that monologue that we have memorized. Like how many people know Samuel Jackson's Pulp Fiction speech because it just sticks with them, right? So for me, that's what I really love about it, right? So.
How are tickets? How are ticket sales?
Ticket sales are okay. It's Lloydminster. So last minute Lloydminster, right? I wish we could get rid of that idea in people's minds, but that is the way that Lloydminster works. They're good, but we can always do better, and we can always add more chairs. So even if we sell the limited number of tickets that we have, we'll print some more and we'll get those bodies in the theater.
Friday night, the night to go, or Sunday afternoon when it's all said and done?
You know, it totally depends. There are some people like Jay's family that come every single performance, and they see it a little bit differently each time. I love opening night. I love closing night, and I like that middle night in there as well, because by then the energy of the first night is amazing. Okay, I've got it under my belt and I can really play with it now is fantastic for that middle performance. And then that last performance, they know it's the last performance. It's the last time they're going to do that. So they're going to put all their heart and soul into it. So really it's your convenience and your preference. To me, they're all going to be a great show.
We've cut into your rehearsal time here. We've really taken up a lot of your time here, but is there anything anybody wants to add before we let you get to her?
I think one of the things that people should know is that it's not a straight story. It's not a beginning, middle, and end. One of the things that the playwright has done really well is set up this frame story of the two reporters talking to each other, and then we've got flashbacks, and we've got might have beens, and we've got could have beens, and we've got all these little scenes that kind of intersperse between the narrative that's happening between the two of them. And sometimes the two reporters actually they step down and they join the action as another character. So it's not just that those two people are playing reporters, they're also playing other characters and then interacting with these people on the stage. The set is a little bit different than people might be used to. We've got some action going on the main stage, and then we've got some multiple different platforms for some down on the floor. So people who are sitting in the audience, they're going to be nice up close to the action.
You'll have to pay attention to catch the story, because it goes from one scene to another scene, and then it might go back and revisit that scene or continue on with that scene. So we get a little vinaigrette in between type of thing. So we really have to pay attention to follow the storyline, and we try and do a good job of narrating the story through. But you will have to pay attention to how it flows through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was going to add to what Matt said before, but it is an actual play that is rewatchable. And as we are performing it, and they're performing it for us, even as stage manager, there's things that I go, oh, I didn't catch that at first. So even if you've seen it once, if you have the time and want to come again because you enjoyed it, it is rewatchable, because you'll catch jokes, you'll catch maybe a hint at the beginning that comes later in the third act. You never know what's going to pop out at you each watch.
There's things as actors that I haven't picked up until just recently. Oh, that's what she meant. So yeah, you have to pay attention for sure.
I'm curious. Maybe I'll ask you, Dana, because you mentioned your family. But when you're rehearsing at home, do you enlist the help of family members?
Yes, I do. My husband knows the play very well at this point. Or he thinks he does anyways. Yeah. But even he's like, hey, what are you guys talking about? Doesn't matter, just read the lines. But yeah, I definitely get help from him for sure.
So you could be your understudy then.
Yeah, maybe if we need it.
In a week, and there it is.
Yeah. Anybody else want to chime in on that? Getting family members to help out?
No, it's very true. It's absolutely true. And just like Steph, just like Dana is saying, that her husband, my wife has been helping me tremendously get through. We're supposed to be doing Act 2 and 3 tonight, and over the weekend, this Thanksgiving weekend there, I was just plugging those words into my head, and she says, no, it's supposed to say don't, it says won't. Okay, all right. So, that kind of thing.
And I'm exactly the opposite. I've always wanted my wife to go to the show and see it for the first time. So she helps me by allowing me to go downstairs and mumble to myself.
That's interesting. Yeah.
So
you like the element of surprise.
I want her to go and see it fresh for the first time. Not he said that line wrong, because she knows what it's supposed to be, right? So yeah, I've always just done it kind of on my own.
I'm the same way. I don't rehearse. I just rehearse. I rehearse all by myself. When my wife's not home or at work, I walk around the store. People, if they were looking inside the window, what the hell is this guy doing? Walk around talking to himself.
Which store was that, Tim?
The Back Shack.
Located at?
Located in Lloydminster on Highway 16, and now in Wainwright. Now there's a store in Wainwright. But no, I like to rehearse by myself, because when my wife comes and sees it, I want not to know anything. I don't want to know anything about it or anything like that. I want it to be just a nice surprise, and and then she can criticize him how I do it. Because these guys are going to be nice to me, right? Not her. She's going to say, well, I don't know. Pack your bags maybe, and you're not good enough. But no. So I like it to be a surprise for her.
Well, I want to thank you guys for your time, and thanks for allowing us to cut into your rehearsal time. We'll pack up and get out of here, and we'll wish you the best of luck and break a leg.
Thank you very much. Can I just add one last thing?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I did say we're a community, we're performing for the community, but also without the community, this wouldn't have been possible. We've had so many people help us out. The Sonic Lodge with rehearsal space, College Park School with rehearsal space. We've been to the Legacy Center, the Reclaim Store. Synergy Credit Union actually approached us and said, we'd like you to do one performance for us, just for us. We said absolutely, and they said, and we'll pay the rental for the rest of the shows. So partnerships like that is what is what keeps us alive and keeps us going, because we are all volunteers. Nobody here gets paid, and so that's right. That's right. We get paid in free.
You're getting a bill for advertising, so
yeah.
the opposite. Volunteer.
So I want to thank you for coming out, helping us to promote this, as well as everybody else who's helped us put this show on.
Well, again, break a leg, guys.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Much. Appreciate it.
We'll wrap it up. Go see How Could You, Mrs. Dick at the Legacy Center on 3 performances, 2 evening performances, and 1 afternoon performance, 27th, 28th, and 29th of October. It does sound like a great story. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.